Welcome back after what seems to have been a lifetime. Sorry, but we've all been very busy, guys, with works of our own. But now we're back and we're back with a bang. We're going to pick up right where we left off. I know our last episode was talking about the UCL quarterfinals first leg, and so much has happened ever since then. I remember how Ashwin and I were so excited for the second leg. Things didn't turn out that way. Karthi, I mean, United is still United, so yeah, nothing for you to talk about. So we'll probably start with Ashwin. I want to know everything over the past 1 month. Our graphs were at a high and then it just stooped like that. But I want to hear your thoughts about that game. I want to know about the second leg, everything.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of completely went lopsided in that second leg, right? And I was actually like, in a way, I was happy that we weren't able to continue with the episode then, because I don't know what how I would have put into words what I was feeling that night. But to be honest, like we were the better team for 120 minutes in that fixture. But once Araujo lost his head, that was it, right? It was never gonna, like, we were never gonna hold on with 10 guys, right? So the game was done then. And of course, the scoreline really doesn't matter, 3-1, 5-1, 10-1, it's all the same. At the end of the day, we were never going to qualify with 10 men. So that game was lost. And as soon as that game was lost, pretty much the season was done. So, like, I mean, Barcelona season is done now. We don't have anything to look forward to. I mean, there's nothing. There's no happiness in victory. There's no sadness in loss, because this, whatever the season was, it's finished now.
What do you think about Xavi getting one more year of
No,
contract?
I'm very happy. Like, I genuinely wanted him to stay. I think like he was doing a very good job, and it happens, like when you have a very young squad and you're building something. It happens. You need to be given time. And of course, at Barcelona, it's the definition of giving time is a lot different compared to what it is at many other clubs all over Europe. Because even a loss, I like I probably said that the previous episode, right? A loss or a victory has to come with certain caveats. Like, even if we win, we have to win in a certain way to be considered a good team or a good Barcelona performance, if you will. And even if we lose, of course, a loss is a loss. Like, we media slanders us to no extent. So I mean, it's very hard being a Barcelona manager, and you're not only fighting the other teams, you're fighting a lot of other external factors, some external factors which you saw yourself yesterday night. I don't even want to comment on it. There are a lot of external factors that we keep fighting about. So
Quality.
you know, uh, see, yeah, after yesterday night, I remember this one very big saying. I don't know by who it was. I think it was by Ibrahimovic. But I remember, like, Messi's greatest victory was fighting Fiorentino Perez and not Ronaldo. And that makes so much sense if you see a lot of things that happen in a certain team's favor. And I'm not even going to say it, because if I say it, you guys are going to be like, "Oh, Barcelona, obviously you're going to slander Madrid." But you saw it for yourself, and this has happened for years now. So you can't really say much. At the end of the day, they're in the finals. I mean, we were talking about the UCL, so uh, I didn't expect Borussia Dortmund to get there, so huge shout out to them. I think they beat two of the best possible remaining teams in the Champions League to get there, to beat PSG and to keep Mbappe quiet. I mean, to keep Mbappe quiet is not a big deal nowadays. I mean, he's an absolute ghost on the big stages. So I'm not really sure if that's great thing to say, that Mbappe was kept quiet, because he was kept quiet throughout by us also,
Next
until, of
season
course,
we'll see. Next
once
season
we
we'll see
finished.
the La Liga.
Yeah, so I'm very excited when he does come to Madrid. People, already are hyping up this Madrid team to like such levels. And okay, yeah, they have performed. At the end of the day, results is what matters, and they have that. But I genuinely think Mbappe is not going to be that transformative generational factor for Madrid. It's going to be a huge learning curve for him as well. But yeah, coming back to that performance by Dortmund, I think they were superb throughout. They deserved to be in the finals, but I feel the final would have been much more exciting if it was a Dortmund Bayern final or a Dortmund PSG final. I mean, Dortmund Madrid. I would love, see, everyone. I'm pretty sure is supporting the underdog, but at the end of the day, you have to say, I mean, it's Madrid, it's their trophy. So you can't really say I'm excited for the Champions League final. So I mean, I think the point that we ended the podcast at the previous time, I think that was the end of the Champions League for me, because right from then, we were eliminated, and then once Madrid do Madrid things, then it's done, right? Uh, of course, coming back to yesterday night's game, I think I called it very, very early. Uh,
Yeah,
and completely lost the plot. It was completely. I mean, I don't know what Tuchel was thinking with those changes and with those this thing. But yeah, I mean, they completely lost it. They
he
threw
should
it
have
away.
see the subs were right, but he should have just done it a bit later. He did it too early in the game.
No, so the thing with the subs as well, right? Okay. Subs, right or wrong, again, that is very subjective. If it works out, if Kim Min Jae scores that header without fouling, or if someone makes a goal line clearance, it's a master stroke, right? But
Yeah.
simple, it's you play percentages in a game like this. When you're up 60 at the 65th minute against Madrid away from home, and you're actually performing decently. Okay, you're not, amazing, you're not overpowering them, but you're there in
You're at
thereabouts.
least
And
containing them.
yeah, it is common sense that you do not change anything. First of all, you don't change anything when it's on the big stage. The main factor is you never change anything, especially when it's against Madrid. It's as simple
Yeah,
as that. Madrid, you know how they are in the final minutes and final seconds. Something happens to them, they're transformative at that point. So I don't know what he was thinking, removing your best players, because say they had conceded that first goal, right? But you still had Harry Kane on the pitch. You would have that threat. You would have someone to try and get a second goal, maybe, or in extra time. If it goes to penalties, you have Kane, a proper penalty taker. You have Muller there, so you have to play the percentages at that point and not say I'm going to shut up shop and go, because if history has taught us anything, it's the fact that you cannot contain Madrid in the last stages in the Champions League. It is impossible. It is as simple as that. And when you have decisions also going their way, it's pretty much that's it, right? Of course, like if you had not done your substitutions and then you had considered it, you would just say, okay, fine, hats off to Madrid, they're the comeback kings. But here, you 50% you handed it to them, and when you hand something to Madrid, they bite your hand off, they'll bite your ear off, they'll bite your head off. So it's as simple as that, right? So I would genuinely blame the game, or I mean, blame the loss on Tuchel and
Tuchel.
his managerial performance. I think he single-handedly cost Harry Kane his what do you call
Or
Ballon d'Or?
Hurricane curse,
I'm sorry.
or did the Hurricane curse play the other way?
Yeah, of course, the Harry Kane curse is all the time there. But I feel if they had won yesterday, I think the final also would have gone their way. I mean, not as one-sided as Madrid
Yeah,
versus Dortmund probably, but for sure, I feel Bayern would have been the favorites. And when you have, if you see this season how it's gone, there has not been one standout player, right? Last season it was probably Haaland who was the clear favorite to challenge Messi for that Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Now, if I were to ask you who is the favorite for Ballon d'Or, probably before this match you would have six opinions, right? You could
Yeah.
probably have a case for Harry Kane. You could probably have a case for Jude Bellingham. You would probably have a case for Vinny Jr. And I would probably
Saka.
have a sorry?
I was about to tell Saka.
Let's
Saka, right?
go.
And
At
one of the
least,
most underrated, most underappreciated player in this Ballon d'Or conversation, Florian Wirtz, the
Yeah.
Bayer
Yeah.
Leverkusen midfielder.
Yeah.
They are
level
on an
level
unbeaten run. They are on course to win a treble. So I genuinely feel if it was if that game had gone Bayern Munich's way, the Ballon d'Or conversation also would be a very interesting. Now that Madrid have probably sealed the
now,
Champions
now,
League,
now, who do you think will win it now?
so ideally, I would say, I mean, I would want Florian Wirtz to win it, because he's been the best player on arguably the best team this season, right?
Season,
I
yeah,
do think that. But again, now that Bellingham and Vinny probably have the league and the Champions League sealed up, so
Champions
they
League,
have
yeah,
their games. Of course, there's the Copa America still left, and the what do you
Euro.
call Euros
Euro.
this year. So anything could happen.
Euros is
So that's what I'm saying. Like, because there's Copa America, right? You always have Lionel Messi in your conversations. because there is Euros, you have your German players or your French players or probably even some Spanish players in the conversation,
அப்ப
right?
கூட ரொனால்டோ
And
சொல்ல
then,
மாட்டேங்கிறா பாத்தியா?
I mean, I don't,
He won't say.
but I don't think Portugal will win the Euros,
Messi,
right? I'm, I'm
fine,
sorry?
fine.
Messi can win. No. I'm saying Argentina can win the Copa America, right? But I
So
don't see Portugal winning the.
If Messi wins Copa America, Ballon d'Or contender.
No. I'm saying he would have been in the conversation. Like people would say, "Oh, Copa America," and right now, if you, I mean, obviously you guys are not following him, but he's obviously, as expected, killing the MLS. Right? He's scoring and assisting every game.
I
He's
think
on
if
fire.
they give it, see, if he's doing well in MLS and if he wins Copa America and they give it to him, people lose their shit, bro.
Exactly, but
Doing
that would
and
have been
playing football.
this whole conversation would have been a lot more interesting because last season you would say it would have been Haaland or Messi. But
Yeah.
if Kane won Champions League, Bellingham and Vinny won La Liga, uh, Mbappe won Euros, Messi won Copa America, and all like you would have 5 or 6 players staking a claim because there's no one clear favorite, right?
Understood. Yeah.
Because everyone's won their one trophy,
Yeah.
and then it comes down to like what you think is a bigger achievement. And obviously you're going to say no, this is a bigger achievement. I'm going to say no, that is a bigger achievement. So it would keep it interesting till the last moment, and everyone would have a case. Pretty similar to what happened. I don't know if you guys follow it, but what happened with the NBA MVP that was announced yesterday. Every one of the 3 finalists had like a huge claim, like to say I deserve that trophy. But if one guy was to be a clear favorite, which is now for sure a Madrid player, right? So and now England's success is linked to Kane and Bellingham.
Yeah.
So whatever England do, Kane and Bellingham will do together. So then it will come down to Kane versus Bellingham, who
Bellingham.
did better at the club level, which is simple. Bellingham, because he won
Bellingham,
all the
yeah.
trophies, right? So I'm just saying, like, it could have been coming back to what I was initially saying, was that Tuchel cost Kane his Ballon d'Or, because
Yes,
I
Ballon
genuinely
d'Or.
feel if Kane had managed to win the Champions League, it would have been a very easy. I mean, I wouldn't say easy, but it would be a clear thing because England's success would be linked to Kane. And so the final tiebreaker would be who did better against each other, and that would be Kane.
But Southgate will have other plans, no?
Yeah, I mean, even if England get eliminated in the first round, it will be Bellingham and Kane both getting eliminated in the first round.
So that's a very good point that you made there. So you remember how last year when Messi won the World Cup, right? And then there was this meme about how Mbappe realizing every goal he scores from here on is just going to help Messi get that Ballon d'Or.
Exactly.
Faster, right? It's so even if you have like your underdogs for the Ballon d'Or, like your Phil Fodens and your Declan Rice and whatever. Okay, you have your
Oh
players.
my God.
They're all going to be playing with the same team. So even if Harry Kane were to be a genius and win Euro, Bellingham is a part of that team. So Bellingham will be winning that. So it's just crazy thinking a 20-year-old dude is winning the Ballon d'Or amongst the likes of players like Lewandowski, Harry Kane, and this dude's not even a striker. Like,
but
Jude Bellingham.
I genuinely feel Florian Wirtz is the candidate because he's probably going to win the Europa League. He's probably going to win the Bundesliga. He's probably going to
Today they
win
have
the
the
cup.
match, no? Against Roma.
And they're going to win all these 3 trophies, most likely undefeated.
Undefeated
In an entire season. It is unheard of. It is historic. It is.
invincible.
I don't know why.
Are we unheard of?
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, even in Arsenal's invincible season, that was only invincible for the league. That was still still lost their game. This is unbeaten across a competition. Just imagine the magnitude of
something about Avi.
What's happening in DFB Pokal?
They're in the final against. If I'm not wrong, I think they're against Stuttgart, but I'm not very sure. You'll have to check that. But it is a team that they're going to like easily beat. It's not like some Bayern or Dortmund who might have a chance. It's a clear Bayer Leverkusen victory. They're leading 2-0 from the first leg of the Europa League tie, and they've already won the league. The even more important thing is, first of all, that does qualify as a European treble. Okay.
Yeah.
So first of all, very, 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 very few teams have won trebles. Even the greatest of great teams have struggled to win trebles. I'm not saying like treble is the ultimate thing, but to an extent, that shows that you have competed across all the competitions and you have managed to beat out all kinds of opponents, not just domestic opponents or not just low class group stage opponents from your European leagues. You have beaten every team that has come across you. That, I mean, I don't know why people don't understand or comprehend what Leverkusen are doing this season, and
Yeah.
what Leverkusen are doing this season.
Both of
Virtues
us
has,
can relate to it. We our teams have done it, so we can relate
yeah,
to
we
it.
have won. And
Yeah.
just now that you've said it, I didn't say it, but we do have two trebles and we have one
Yeah,
sextuple.
yeah,
So,
Avi,
I
European Cup
understand
irka?
the value. Yeah, Avi has domestic double da, FA Cup and Community Shield.
We will be there.
I'm going to come back to where I ended the last episode about how I felt Arsenal and Bayern's game went, and I'm going to pick up from there. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let's go.
First of all, massive shout out because I felt Arsenal played well in that second leg, even though we didn't win. A loss is a loss, but I think because of, like I said before, it's a very young team. They're not exposed to that kind of pressure, right? And playing at Allianz Arena, I think. Okay, so we lost. Bayern were the better team. They got an opportunity and they capitalized, and that's something Arsenal need to work on. But being able to perform under that pressure, right? Playing 90 minutes under that pressure, knowing that we're still in it up until the last minute, like we could still get through. We could still get through. I think we took back a lot, and because of that particular game, it's helped us so much in the Premier League ever since then. We've been doing very well in the Premier League, and to be honest with you, when I'm watching Arsenal play, right, even if we were playing Spurs away or we were playing Chelsea at home, immediately in my head I was like, we played Bayern, a few weeks ago in Alliance, and we were so good. Like even the guys would be pretty confident about being able to defend against these guys. I felt there was a big learning curve with that game, and I felt coming from that particular fixture, we did a lot better, and which is a reason why we're still there in the contention for being able to complete this on a clean slate, at least getting 6 out of the next 6 points, right? Uh, Coming to the other game, the City versus Madrid game, that was another insane fixture. So good, so tight. And oh my God, City kept pushing and pushing and pushing until De Bruyne scored that goal. And there were so many chances, even in extra time, and the penalties could have gone either way. I just feel so bad for City because I felt that was their tie, like they should have definitely gone through. Like, if you look just based on the footballing that happened there, this Carlo Ancelotti is a genius when it comes to the big stage, like the knockouts and everything. If only City had qualified there, right? Like I'm pretty sure City versus Bayern would have been probably not a cakewalk, but it would have been a lot more
Yeah, I
one-sided.
mean, City would have
Yeah,
steamrolled Bayern.
yeah, man. Like
See,
so,
that's just points. I mean, gives me extra points to say how many things have to go right for a team to win everything. Because
yeah,
who do you think are the best team in Europe? I would still say City, but
yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
just 2 minutes or one chance, every point has to go right for you to win every trophy you're in.
yeah,
So it's a huge thing. I mean, everything that we are discussing now, inherently I'm feeling more and more that oh my God, what are Leverkusen doing, what is Words doing. And
yeah, yeah,
Words is this thing is linked to Germany as well, right? If
yeah,
Germany do well in the Euros, I mean, who's to say Words is not a candidate? Like, I wouldn't have any
Yeah, yeah.
argument to say Words should not win the Ballon d'Or, right? But yeah, for sure. Like,
for
coming back to
sure.
what Avinash said, for sure.
But I don't think Wirtz is going to win it. I'm just being very realistic. I just don't think Wirtz is going to win the Ballon d'Or. Like last year, Haaland won the treble and Haaland was a top scorer, and Haaland did end up winning. And there was a lot of controversy about that. But then again,
But
Messi
that's
won
the
the
thing,
World
right?
Cup. So that is the applause. So,
Haaland's singular trophy was trumped by the World Cup, which
yeah,
is at the end of the day the World Cup.
yeah,
This
yeah.
Yeah.
season, there is Copa, there is Euro, which are at this pretty much, you would say
Correct.
one is at
Yeah,
Yeah,
same
yeah.
level
Same,
of
same
trophy.
level.
So you cannot say, okay, Copa winner is better than the Euro winner, or the Euro winner is better than the Copa winner. But if the Copa and the Euro winner have club achievements, right, that will be probably the tiebreaker. Now,
yeah,
club achievements are like we discussed already,
yeah,
Kane,
yeah,
Bellingham already are there. But if Germany go on to win the Euros, for example, I'm saying, of course, at the end of the day, if England win the Euros, Jude Bellingham, hands down, wins it,
Mhm,
takes it home.
mhm.
But if Germany go on to have a deeper run in the Euros, and Wirtz, performs at the same level that he is now, he has pretty much the same number of goals as Bellingham. He
Yeah.
has more assists. And Bellingham, to be very honest, he started very brightly. Over the last 6 or 7 months, he's been absolute shit. If you saw
Yeah.
yesterday's game,
Yesterday's
if he
game
didn't play
itself,
also, it
yeah.
would have been the same thing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was absolutely nowhere. He's there for them, the spirit, the mentality. That's great. But at the end of the day, the 22 goals and 10 assists or something like that that Bellingham has is, I think, 85% is from the beginning of the season where he was unstoppable. But
Mm.
he has not maintained that through the season. So
Mm.
if you look at stats, if you look what do you look at in a Ballon d'Or, right? You look at individual stats. You look at those individual stats impact on the team, and to an extent, you look at the team success and what trophies they have won. Individual stats, Wirtz is right there with Bellingham, Foden. You named a few Arsenal players. I forgot them also when I was talking about
Oh,
Ballon d'Or.
come on. There's
Saka, bro,
no way you
Saka,
forgot
Saka.
their names.
Better than Saka. Obviously, I mean, of course, Rice is not in this conversation in terms of stats, individual stats, I'm saying. So
Okay.
he's equal there. Probably Kane is the only guy who has individual stats that are far superior from all of these guys.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Then it comes down to what that has impacted on the team. That
Mm-hmm.
team went undefeated. Hopefully, I hope the
Mm.
Roma don't manage to beat them.
You
But that
already
team
told
went
10 times the undefeated, undefeated. I'm getting very nervous now.
No, I want them to get defeated. So give all the jinxes you all want, guys.
so so that's there. And then you look at the team trophies. You look at your league, one. You look at your European League, one. You look at your cup, one. And in the end, you look at your Euros. If you
Yeah.
have a deep run in the Euros, I mean, you would probably, I wouldn't be not able to give it to, someone like Florian Wirtz. So,
Mm.
I mean, at the end of the day, the name, the PR also matters when it comes to such things, right? The Ballon d'Or at this point, yeah.
Unpopular opinion. Okay. Portugal is winning Euros and Argentina winning Copa America. Messi versus Ronaldo one last time for Ballon d'Or. You heard it here first.
But that's the thing. I don't think they let it happen because it'll be a huge, I wouldn't say
Yeah.
controversy, but it'll be like a huge thing to say. It'll be very degrading to the trophy to say, someone who's performing outside Europe wins
Yeah.
it, unless and until one of them has like a stellar campaign, single-handedly takes them to the trophy. Then I would probably still say Portugal have a tougher task of reaching the Euro finals
Mm.
and Euro
Mm.
winning Euros that as compared to Argentina have, because
Mhm.
Argentina at the end of the day have 3 or 4 stunning teams
Yeah.
and 5 or 6 very mediocre teams.
Yeah.
The 3 or 4 stunning teams is the same in Euros also,
Yeah.
but the mediocre team level is slightly higher than as compared to South America, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I don't think Portugal will win the Euros. So
Euros.
that's the only reason why I wouldn't even bring Ronaldo into this conversation. Only because I'm talking about winners of all the competitions that are going on this side. And
Yeah.
I do think Argentina, of course, world champions, they're in to win the Copa America as well. And when as soon as you win a national trophy, you automatically come into the conversation of a trophy. So
Yeah.
Messi will be there. I'm not saying he should win it, but if they win Copa America and all the mediocre, I mean, the next level performers are split between one winning the league, one winning the Champions League, one winning the Euros, one winning this thing, and everyone having very similar stats. It'll come down to the whole PR exercise, right? Because Ballon d'Or
Mm.
at the end of the day
Yeah.
is about
But
PR, is
as you
about
said, they'll be like they'll have one dilemma to give it to a person who's playing outside Europe. That thing will
yeah.
come.
But if that person is Messi or Ronaldo, no, that dilemma is very much sorted out because the fans themselves will not cause that much of an issue, right? If you're giving it to say who's that guy who performs well for Al Nassr, dude, that other guy, Talisca, right?
Mm.
Tennis.
That guy also scores quite a few goals. He's
Yeah, yeah.
actually, whenever Ronaldo is not there, he carries that team to a lot of victories. As much
Mm.
as I have seen stats and all that. So if you were to give it to Talisca, right? Talisca again, it comes down to the PR factor also, right?
Yeah.
You're
Imagine
like
Telescope winning
at
Ballon
the end
d'Or.
of the day, Ballon d'Or is also a public pleasing, fans garnering event. It's a trophy. It's like a glitz and glamour event. So you want to give it to the big name,
Yeah.
so when that's what happens, like when the slate is split across one winning this, one winning that, one winning this, one winning that, it'll come down to a PR exercise. At this PR exercise point is where I feel, unfortunately, Words will lose out on the trophy. I think Bellingham, Vinny
Or
Junior,
Vinicius,
Kane,
Vinicius Junior.
yeah, these guys will have a higher claim because they're
That's
in
why
the media all the time.
that's why I don't think Wirtz is going to win. I think the PR
Yeah,
factor
so
is a
I
big
think the
aspect.
Yeah,
only way Words wouldn't win this is, of course, the PR factor.
PR
But
factor.
then if you give it to PR factor and Messi wins the Copa, right? Like,
Mm.
who has more higher PR than Messi and Ronaldo? I
Yeah,
mean,
correct,
all of
correct.
these guys combined together can't touch like 20% of the PR Messi and Ronaldo have, right? So again, it's a very gray area to go. That's what I said. If Bellingham and Vinny had not won yesterday, it would have been a genuinely open race, a first time in a long time where anyone could have won it,
Could have won it,
and
yeah.
and people would say that person is right.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what happened yesterday. Like Jokic won the MVP in NBA, but he won it deservedly. But if SGA had won it, it would have been deserved, and if Luka had won it, it would have been deserved. So it just comes down to like what trophy happens, like how much of the team performance would you value, all of these things. But I do think now that it's split across the slate, it's going to come down to PR. So I still feel the Madrid guys have a huge advantage,
yeah,
unless of
Advantage.
course Mbappe or someone like turns up in the Euros and rips it open, and
exactly.
then uh,
If an
because Mbappe,
Mbappe again carries France to a victory in Euros,
France to a victory,
and
yeah.
he's won
That's
I mean,
what
three
I.
titles with
technically,
PSG and
technically
reached
Mbappe
PSG
is in the
victory.
conversation as well
Yeah,
because PSG
exactly.
did win their domestic. I mean, are going to win their domestic treble, and then you
They
add
won, no?
no, they have one final left. I
Final
mean, they
left,
are
okay.
going to win it, but they have one final left. So it'll come down to again if he comes up and plays like the Mbappe of usual in the Euros, then pretty much he's also there in the conversation. So I mean, this Ballon d'Or is probably the most open.
Open, yeah, yeah.
Last Ballon d'Or was the most 1v1 highest challenge it has been in a long time because Haaland had a proper case for it as well, and of
Yeah,
course
yeah.
Messi had a case for it as well.
Like last year, we knew who they were going to give it to.
Yeah, at the end of the day, like yeah, of course you kind of know which trophy has more value, right?
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think this time, like I said, it's going to be the most open race, and it would have been even more open. And I genuinely feel sad for Kane because through no fault of his own, he's been booted out of that race. So it's very sad. But Kane, of course, I don't think now Kane is in the race at all. I think it's going to be Bellingham, Vinny Junior, hopefully Florian
Mbappe.
Wirtz in the race, and Mbappe. And yeah, I mean, I don't think Norway are going to do much in the uh, uh, Euros.
Norway
So
are
I
playing.
don't
They're
think.
playing Euros, right?
I think they have qualified, but I don't think they're going to do much anyway. So I don't think Haaland is in that conversation.
Hey, hey,
I
Haaland was
do,
not in the conversation. Odegaard
no,
was in
no.
the
In
conversation.
case, uh, who else would you say the dark horses? I think Phil Foden maybe,
Bukayo Saka.
KDB. But again, the problem
Okay.
with English players, right?
Yeah,
All of them are linked to the Jude Bellingham boat.
exactly. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
No
That's the
English
big
player can win it
problem.
above Bellingham right now.
yeah,
That's the
yeah, yeah.
problem. So even if Saka has a stellar season now, it's
Yeah.
not going to matter because his fortunes, all English player fortunes, are linked to what Bellingham does. Bellingham has to sit on the bench, win a Euro Trophy medal, and he's going to win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Even if Foden is the one scoring 4 or 5 goals or 6 goals or 7 goals in that tournament.
Yeah,
So
it's mad.
Bellingham, Vinny, Florian Wirtz, maybe Mbappe if he turns up,
Who
and
else?
who
Who
else?
else? Who else?
That's
Who else
pretty
would
much
it
who I see right now.
Oh,
I mean,
I'm sure.
one of the
I'm sure
very
Foden is going to be in the race, but
one
it's
of
a
the very
close one.
underrated guy I mean my personal opinion would be Rodri because Rodri has not lost a single game in the past 69 or 70 games,
Yeah,
and he's won, of course, it looks like the Premier League as well. No offense, I do want Arsenal to win, but it looks like the Premier League as well. It looks like the Premier
Next,
League as well, and
we'll go to that topic next.
no, there is no topic. Y'all can do that without me, okay? So I'll tell you guys. So I've
and
been
he's going to win
following
the FA Cup.
Arsenal. Yeah,
And
go
he
on.
if Spain managed to do well in the Euros,
Yeah,
Spain's best player would probably, I mean, best player in terms of Ballon d'Or conversation would be
Will
Rodri.
be Rodri.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I think Spain's representative would be Rodri, but it's hard to look past the three guys that we first discussed. Bellingham, Vinny, basically a Madrid player if once they win the Champions League, not if but when,
Yeah.
because I do not think Dortmund will have enough on that on that night in Wembley.
Yeah, makes sense. If Dortmund end up winning Champions, that'll actually be mad, right?
Mad, yeah.
Would
I
that put
mean,
Jadon Sancho in the conversation if Sancho were to have won the Euros as well?
oh
Let's go.
right,
Let's
yeah,
go.
you know what? No, but
And
but the problem is
stats aren't as
he doesn't have
great.
the first pillar, which is individual stats.
Yeah,
That
yeah, yeah.
first pillar is only missing, so he doesn't have a foundation to build off of. All the guys that we have mentioned before this, have that individual
You can
stats
keep
to
him
back.
in contention, please.
I don't. I Ten Hag will blow a fuse if Sancho is called up for the
Today
Ballon
I
d'Or.
sent Avinash one meme saying that Ten Hag like recalls Sancho from Dortmund just to win the tournament.
Yeah,
Like the
no, but
argument. Yeah.
the Champions League has this thing. You can take 23 medals, and it's up to the club to distribute it to whoever they want, provided they have played at least one game in the Champions League.
It's
So
one
even if
Okay.
game.
Sancho doesn't play the
Okay.
final of the Champions League or he's
If
recalled or whatever,
he gets a medal,
and
yeah.
of course, as meme material, it's funny, but just for the
Fun,
viewers
yeah.
out there, even if that happens, Sancho can be given a medal. Of course, then it'll come down to if Dortmund want to give him this thing or not, which they will probably because he did have a stunning performance in that quarterfinals against Atletico, and also he did a pretty decent job against PSG in the first leg as well. So
Yeah, yeah, he did. He did.
I mean, if they win, which is a huge, huge if now, but if they win, it'll probably, like Avinash said, it's going to be the biggest fairy tale ending to Marco Reus's career
Marco Reus.
in Dortmund. He's leaving. I mean, would you guys want him to come to your clubs?
No, he's too old, man. He's too
He's
old
not
for
that
that.
old. He's got 32, 33, a 1 or 2 year contract to like,
No,
you
I
know.
think I know. I wouldn't want him at Arsenal for sure.
I mean, with our finances, I would gladly take him, a guy of his
Okay.
caliber for free and,
But
on a
he's
very,
only injury prone, bro.
sorry?
Injury prone.
Yeah, but again, like if he were to accept a very low salary, we see right now the main thing we are as Barcelona we are missing is depth and quality depth. The moment we lost Balde, we had to play Cancelo on the left, and that kind of ruined our season because Cancelo was very very bad on the left. You guys must have seen the PSG game; he was absolutely horrendous. And again, uh, Gavi was injured, tore his ACL, and we lost the fight in midfield. We have too much technicality. Pedri, Frenkie, Gundo, they're too technical. They cannot fight like toe to toe, man to man. They cannot be in like a dog fight for 90 minutes, which is where we lost most of our games. Like if you look at the Clásicos that we lost, we were the better team technically playing the better football. But when after the 60th minute or the 70th minute, when it came down to, a proper dog fight in midfield, we lost
Both were
so
Bellingham last minute goals, no? Both El Clasicos were Bellingham
yeah.
last minute goals, yeah.
There's no runner tracking. The midfield is not built for that. We need the Gavi had such a huge impact on our midfield because he had the dog in him, right? Like he could run 90 minutes, 95 minutes, 100 minutes, 120 minutes, right? He was an absolute beast. So he would be our, enforcer in midfield. The problem is we don't have that now. And going forward, also, I feel if Royce were to come to Barca, it would be a good bench option to have for that low cost. It's a free transfer of Marco Royce. It's not some a C grade player or a D grade player.
Yeah.
You're going to get a experienced vet to like help out the youngsters that we have, and also you're going to reunite that Royce and Lewandowski combination. You never know what that brings. So it could be fun. Like I would definitely take him. I don't know where he plans to go. Maybe he wants to get a big payday before he retires, MLS or Saudi or something like that.
Yeah.
But if he were to come to Barca, I would gladly take it because right now we need that quality depth and that winning pedigree, which I think Royce does have with his German career. And of course, injury prone, but we are not looking for him to play 30, 40, 50 games a season. We're looking for him to play 10, 15 games a season, give rest to the youngsters that we have. But it'll be an interesting thing. Like there's a lot of, we really need to discuss the transfer market as well because this transfer
Yeah.
market is going to be very, 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 very interesting.
Yeah.
Uh, Transfer market, which includes the manager market as well, because the manager movement and everything. There's so much we have missed out on in these few days that we have not been able to be active. But it's going to be super interesting for sure. The season itself was very interesting, and I'm sure the off season will be even more interesting.
Yeah. we'll have a closing this thing with one last topic. I just wanted to ask you all about yesterday's game. We'll talk about both the semis. Actually, I wanted to know what you all thought about the last minute offside not being given the offside being given and the goal not being given to Bayern. And also,
I'll let Karthi take this one for first because you already know my opinion on this.
yeah, also Karthi,
See,
before that, also talk about the others. Talk about the other semis also. I want to know your thoughts about the other semis as well.
Dortmund one. See, Dortmund were well set up. Okay, they knew how to like stop Mbappe. They got the 1-0 lead in the first leg, and second leg away they were well set up, and they were containing them, and they were creating like counters and everything. They were creating chances, and their defense was well like organized. The Matt Hummels tackle, everything. The Matt Hummels, I think the first game, I think that Mbappe tackle where he stops and the goal he scores, everything. Hummels played a vital role in their win, like the road to final.
Yeah,
And Dortmund deserved it. Like no doubt that like sad that PSG like hit the post like 5 times across the both the legs, but you can't help it. That's football.
yeah, that's and I feel it was a lot of karma which Barca, all these Barca fans were like, no, no, PSG, you should rotten hell, and all of their shots just hit the post and came off, and they ended up losing 2-0 against Dortmund. Man, that's so sad.
Yeah. Then Madrid, like the offside, like see, I mean, like basic football rule when the referee blows the whistle, the match ends, like it stops. I think it's an error. Okay, he should have just let because now the VR has come. They should have just let the play happen, and if it's a goal or not, let them decide afterwards.
Yeah,
That's my take on it. I don't know why he stopped the game like right when the linesman raised it for offside. They should have just let it happen, and that's how it's been all like when start from the VAR. It's been like that. They don't like stop the play like that. Let it happen. So I feel that it was to be given a goal to Bayern, but
yeah,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I mean, coming to that first game, at the end of the day, what showed was winning pedigree, which I mean, I've used this term so many times in the previous podcast, but I think that importance of knowing how to win is very, very underrated. Like you said, Mats Hummels, right? He's a serial winner. He knows how to win. He has been there and done that 100 times, right? So at the end of the day, that shows. And PSG are a team of amateurs. They have not done anything so far. Winning the League One is not some great achievement. So at the end of the day, that shows on the big stage when the lights are bright. Your stars are supposed to perform, and unfortunately, Mbappe didn't turn up. And who's the biggest star in Dortmund? I would still say, see, your Adeyemi, your Sancho's, your all these guys are flashy. They're the quick ones. But at the end of the day, you need your experienced guys to step up.
yeah,
If your experienced guys are
this
not
guy,
there for
that
you,
left center back for Dortmund also was too good.
yeah, he
Schlotterbeck.
was also amazing, Schlotterbeck.
Schlotterbeck, yeah, beautiful.
See, I'll tell you one more thing. I mean, I'm coming back to, I'm digressing a little bit here, but bear with me for a second. When you when you first bought Varane, right, to United, maybe I
Engelpress,
didn't say it to you, but I told all my other United fans, I'm like, you guys are hyping him up too much. Varane was Varane because he was next to Ramos.
Ramos, yeah,
This
yeah, yeah.
point, this point has to be, very, 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 very important. The point I'm trying to make here is experienced guys and knowledgeable guys bring out the best of everyone around them also. So Schlotterbeck had a world class performance. I promise you, if Hummels was not there, Schlotterbeck wouldn't have been that good. And that is what winning mentality. That is what experience gives you in a game on the big stage. He went and got the goal also. Okay, fine. I'm not. That's not his primary job. It's a corner. He got a goal. I won't comment on that. But some of his tackling, his positioning,
Tackles, yeah.
he's 35, 36 against Mbappe and Mbappe's speed. Mbappe couldn't do anything over two legs. That doesn't come down to pace. That doesn't come down. That purely comes down to experience, knowing where to be, at what point. This comes over 400 games, over 500 games. It comes naturally. You're that instinct, right? You know that the turn will be here. There was this one crunching tackle that he put in the first leg.
First leg,
Mbappe,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mbappe received the ball and he was there. He was right
Yeah,
there. And I promise you, that cannot be taught. If that would have been taught easily, then no player would be great. right? Everyone would be at the same level. You cannot teach that. That comes with absolute experience. That comes with winning, knowing what it takes to win. That is what happened, and that is exactly what this guy, what do you call, Hummels did. Hummels was clearly the best player on the pitch yesterday, and Dortmund deservedly, they came with a game plan. They knew what they're doing. They defended with two lines of five. Fulkrug was superb as the. I mean, he was a very underrated part of yesterday's victory. I don't think many people would have seen him, but he was superb as the focal point, holding up play, bringing Sancho, bringing Adeyemi into the game. And also a very important factor, he was a very good when when holding up the game, it kind of takes the sting out of your PSG's waves of attacks as well. Like if you have an outlet pass, you're safe to come out of your own box, because you know that guy will manage to hold the ball for 5-10 seconds, or at least
Yeah.
15 seconds before the next wave of attack comes. So that's a very important skill. And I think Eden Terzic got it right. So I feel they deserve to be in the final. And coming to the second game, right? I mean, I've already said it. I've said it 100 times. This is what Madrid do, right? This is in their DNA. Again, winning experience, winning pedigree, winning experience, winning pedigree. I'll say it once. I'll say it twice. I'll say it 100 times. But again, when you say the play could have been let go, it was an offside, it was a refereeing error, the point has always been, why do these errors go a particular team's way every time when it comes to the Champions League? It's as simple as that, right? These errors always go their favor. Why didn't the play stop when Rudiger was given offside? Rudiger was also given offside,
So
right? And by the looks of it, when it first looked, right, Rudiger looked to be miles offside. He didn't look to be 1 inch, 2 inch offside. But the far man was playing him on, not the near man. Then all the near men were 5, 6, 7, 8 steps in front of him. The play didn't stop there. So luck is one thing, but when this happens every time to one particular team, then and my point, my I was telling my brother also this. He's a Madrid fan. He was like, "Oh, why do you people hate us?" I'm like, you had already won the game. You don't need this extra thing, because it taints your victory, right? It kind of dilutes it. It gives your haters a point to pick up and say, you know what, this could have been this. They had won it fair and square, 2-1. It was over, right? It just feels like somehow, some way, every on the big stage, small things go Madrid's way. Of course, in previous years, huge things have also gone Madrid's way. I don't want to go back there.
yeah,
Clear
that's true.
offsides,
That's true.
horrendous fouls. Everything goes Madrid's way in the Champions League. And at the same time, they play that way as well. They have won it. So at the end of the day, I can't really say much, because
Yeah,
people will say, "Oh, Barca fan." But this is what I remember messaging on the group as well, when you guys were mocking Barca, and I told you, Barca don't just play, like, they don't just play against the team. They play against a lot of external factors, right?
yeah.
And these are all, this happens. This you saw it on Wednesday. I see this every Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so you know, I, I,
I
I
think
mean,
it's that one. I think it's the Chelsea curse, bro. That one season where you will fuck them up really bad and rob them in the Champions League
no, fine.
against
Okay, yeah,
Chelsea.
fine. I'm not even
That's
talking
that.
about Barca as such. I see this every day with other teams as well in
Yeah,
La Liga. So I mean, it comes down to the fact that if teams are getting 50-50 splits, right? Bad calls go everyone's way, bro. I'm not even saying bad calls don't, but every major call goes a particular team's way in a particular league, and on, especially when it. And I'm telling you one more thing also. I told you this on that day also. Winning one league is of course great in La Liga for us. To win a consecutive second league, no, the external factors are absolutely ramped up. Okay.
mm,
And I remember I gave you a few years and I said tax fraud in 2012, that corruption case in 2016, this Negriga case in 2023, doping allegations in 2009. I asked you what was the common factor. And of course, I think the conversation flowed. None of you replied. Or maybe you guys didn't want to say what you could see clearly. These were all second years of us winning and us being the best team in Europe. Okay.
mm. Okay.
So, I mean, I cannot, this is not something tangible. I don't have proof and say, look, this is what it is. but it's very, very evident. You just have to see it as a neutral also. You hate Barca, that's fine. But if you just, what do you call, take yourself out of that hatred for a minute and see it neutrally. And now you tell me, in the last 3 months or 4 months, has honestly, look me in the eye and tell me, has the Negreira case been discussed? Have you seen that? You follow your One Football, your Goal.com, all of this thing. Have you seen the name Negreira come in 4 months, in the last 4 months?
It'll come
No, no.
the year after you
Can
all
you,
win.
can you tell me? Can you tell me what happened in the last 4 months? Our downfall. We were
Yeah,
out
yeah.
of all competitions. They don't have a point to say because that thing doesn't exist. When did Negreira case pop up again? When we were on a 10-game victory, we were 2 points behind Madrid. We were in the Champions League round of 16, and we were finally, going uphill.
Yeah.
We are used to this. This is what I mean when I say external factors. You saw it yesterday. I really, really hope now that you have seen it so blatantly. I mean, you would have seen it on so many years, but now that we are discussing it and now that we have a podcast to actually be able to put into words what I feel, I just feel like you guys really need to take yourself out of the hatred for Barca and just look at what is very evident in front of you guys. And I
Yeah.
think this time, many people on social media also, I've seen many people turn against them and say, few times we ignore it, third time. But this is a regular occurrence. Whenever there is a 50-50 that could go either way, it goes a particular team's way. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, they did win that game. They are in the Champions League final, and you can't say much. They won it 14 times. Of course,
Yeah.
5 of those have been very, very dubious, but that's a discussion
Very
for
bad.
another day.
Right, guys. So I think the message Ashwin was trying to say is don't hate Barca, guys. Okay, let's spread love, let's spread positivity. Okay, and let's stop hating on Barcelona every time they
Like
win.
this is the time
And
they
let's
should.
let's let's embrace the fact that they're having a downfall and enjoy this for now. Okay, and the next time they win, we'll bring up some other issue that they have. But
Yeah.
That will come up naturally. You don't have to worry. This time it was
exactly, it will
Negreira,
come
next
up.
time
It
it
will
will be
come up.
Pegrera, something like that.
We need more of Ashwin's emotions to come out every episode, right? That's that. I need that. We need that.
We will be there.
So yeah. So guys, again, like we said, I know we've taken a big hiatus, but now we are back and we will discuss a lot more episodes from here on, hopefully without any other hindrances or obstacles. So with that, yeah, Karthi has something to say. Let's
Ashwin,
go.
last
Yeah,
one
bro.
question. Premier League will win.
City. I never bet against City, bro. City are generational. City.
City. Karthi, what do you say?
Arsenal, bro.
Nice. Okay, so okay, all right.
Avinash, what do you say?
What do you say? United.
Liverpool. No,
Liverpool. Liverpool.
Liverpool. No, so yeah, I'm going to say City because it just makes common sense. If I'm not an Arsenal fan, I would say City because City are used to winning. I don't think they will lose here on also. But as an Arsenal fan, we've had an incredible season, and if now I don't support my team and hope that my team will win, then I'm just an idiot. So yes, I hope Arsenal win.
But as an Arsenal fan, who does your final title race rest with? Look me in the eye and tell me you don't want Tottenham to do you a favor. Huh?
Oh wow! I want
Yeah.
West Ham. I want Fulham. I want all of. Suddenly, I want all the London teams to do me a favor.
If Spurs manage to win it for Arsenal, Arsenal fans will build a statue for Ange
100%. Screw Arteta.
outside
Ange is our
Emirates.
god. Ange is our god. Ange ball. This is what we aspire. Okay, Ange to Arsenal. Everything. Suddenly, it's just going to be all over the place. But okay, that's all just in our fancies and everything. We'll see what happens. We'll keep you guys updated on everything that's going on. But guys, also thank you. We still happen to have the same number of subscribers. I thought we would lose a few, because we haven't been making content. But thank you. I think it's the same for Insta too, right? Have you lost any followers?
Yeah, we've been. Yeah, no. We're fine. We're fine there.
Yeah, thank you guys. It's great that you guys are actively following us and you're staying true to us because that means a lot. Going forward, we'll try to do more and more and more. So
For sure.
stay
For
tuned.
sure.
Yeah, please keep doing the same thing that I've been doing. Keep checking up or keep following the videos and spreading the word around so more people are aware. And yeah, if also if you guys want to be a part of the show, do reach out to us because the more number of different clubs fans that we get, the more fun that we can have and the more banter we can discuss. So
Especially
with that,
Liverpool and City fans are welcome.
I doubt there are any Liverpool and City fans.
Yeah, I mean Liverpool
Liverpool,
fans are
yes.
currently
City
in
fans will be
hibernation
in
mode.
school, I think.
Yeah, City fans are in school. The Foden's kids are City fans. He's giving,
But
he's,
yeah,
he's just giving vibes, giving birth to like
hold on,
multiple City fans. Anyway, guys,
All right,
so
guys.
as we said, keep following and do the same as y'all have been doing. Thank you so much for supporting. Take care, boys. We'll see you on the next one.
good night.
Bye,
Bye bye.
guys. Bye.